girl. If you slide, tell me now what you do for me, girl. Been alone for some time, so it's new for me, girl. But I wanna take a chance on you truthfully, girl. Girl, I'll be a man, I know you need that. Where your old piece, you need to leave that. Got you on my lock, I need to keep that. Yeah, I mean that. Oh, you see that? I've been trying to hold back, gotta practice self-control. Every time I call you, girl, I always get that tone. I just need to see you, girl, I'm tired of that phone. Just say when you alone, on my way, I'm going, yeah. I just told my shawty better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through. I just told my shawty better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through.
It's been a long day, you should roll up. Now it's you every time my phone buzz. Need you around, I've been so alone. Shit be hard when I'm on the road. All this Louis luggage made me wet the grill. I don't really wanna touch it unless it's mine for real. I put all them diamonds on her like a chandelier. She gon' get a double murder if the looks could kill. Yeah, these feelings are familiar. Swear she look familiar. Swear to God I need her. Swear to God I need love. I've been in and out of lust. I've been in and out of touch. Falling in and out of love, yeah.
I just told my shawty better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through. I just told my shawty better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through.
Hi, I just wanted to let you know that I miss you and I love you. I feel like I haven't heard from you in a while. I know this music is hard, but I know you're also doing an incredible job. I just worry that it might take a lot out of you, and
I just told my shawty better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through. I just told my shawty better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through. Would you wanna come through for me, girl? If you slide, tell me now what you do for me, girl. Been alone for some time, so it's new for me, girl. But I wanna take a chance on you truthfully, girl. Girl, I'll be a man, I know you need that. Where your old piece, you need to leave that. Got you on my lock, I need to keep that. Yeah, I mean that. Oh, you see that? I've been trying to hold back, gotta practice self-control. Every time I call you, girl, I always get that tone. I just need to see you, girl, I'm tired of that phone. Just say when you alone, on my way, I'm going, yeah. I just told my shawty better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through. I just told my shawty better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through.
It's been a long day, you should roll up. Now it's you every time my phone buzz. Need you around, I've been so alone. Shit be hard when I'm on the road. All this Louis luggage made me wet the grill. I don't really wanna touch it unless it's mine for real. I put all them diamonds on her like a chandelier. She gon' get a double murder if the looks could kill. Yeah, these feelings are familiar. Swear she look familiar.
shawty, better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through.
Hi, I just wanted to let you know that I miss you and I love you. I feel like I haven't heard from you in a while. I know this music is hard, but I know you're also doing an incredible job. I'm just worried that it might take a lot out of you, and
I just told my shawty, better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through. I just told my shawty, better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through. Would you wanna come through for me, girl? If you slide, tell me now what you do for me, girl. Been alone for some time, so it's new for me, girl. But I wanna take a chance on you truthfully, girl. Girl, I'll be a man, I know you need that. Where your old piece, you need to leave that. Got you on my lock, I need to keep that. Yeah, I mean that. Oh, you see that? I've been trying to hold back, gotta practice self-control. Every time I call you, girl, I always get that tone. I just need to see you, girl, I'm tired of that phone. Just say when you alone, on my way, I'm going gone, yeah. I just told my shawty, better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through. I just told my shawty, better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through.
It's been a long day, you should roll up. Now it's you every time my phone buzz. Need you around, I've been so alone. Shit be hard when I'm on the road. All this Louis luggage made me wet the grill. I don't really wanna touch it unless it's mine for real. I put all them diamonds on her like a chandelier. She gon' get a double murder if the looks could kill. These feelings are familiar, swear she look familiar. Swear to God I need her, swear to God I need love. I've been in and out of lust, I've been in and out of touch, only in and out of love, yeah.
I just told my shawty, better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through. I just told my shawty, better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through.
hi, I just wanted to let you know that I miss you and I love you. I feel like I haven't heard from you in a while. I know this music is hard, but I know you're also doing an incredible job. I'm just worried that it might take a lot out of you, and
I just told my shawty, better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through. I just told my shawty, better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through. Would you wanna come through for me, girl? If you slide, tell me now what you do for me, girl. Been alone for some time, so it's new for me, girl. But I wanna take a chance on you truthfully, girl. Girl, I'll be a man, I know you need that. Where your old piece, you need to leave that. Got you on my lock, I need to keep that. Yeah, I mean that. Oh, come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through.
It's been a long day, you should roll up. Now it's you every time my phone buzz. Need you around, I've been so long. Shit be hard when I'm on the road. All this Louis luggage made me wet the grill. I don't really wanna touch you unless it's mine for real. I put all them diamonds on her like a chandelier. She gon' get double murder.
Yo, what's good, everybody? We back with another Sold Out Live, another Sold Out podcast on this Saturday, man. Y'all smash the like button, sub up to the channel if you haven't done so already, man. My name is Jeremy Jones, and of course, I make content about sneakers, occasional try-on hauls. You know, we got Music Mondays, and let's just dive in because this is sold out, man. Dunks should be joining a little bit later. I think he had to take care of some family business, so if he joins live, then I'll add him on for sure. You know how we go. I'm gonna see who got in the building, but let's just touch on the topic tonight. I wanted to talk pretty much StockX reaches a settlement on a class action lawsuit that I don't remember when this actually went down. I think we heard about it, but I think finally, like, this is something that happened over in Quebec. So I want to touch on that because it seems like every time sneakers get a little quiet, man, it seems like if anybody's going to pop up first, no taking shots at StockX, they always pop up first, man. And even on my video on how to get a refund, I've seen how people are still trying to rock with StockX, but they're still having issues. You know what I'm saying? Stuff is falling through the cracks, allegedly. You know, this is all what I'm saying. I don't work there, so this is all alleged. This whole live is alleged. And then also, I want to touch on the Air movie. Hopefully, Dunks joins us because I know for a fact that Dunks actually went and saw the movie. Y'all saw that in the Sold Out Discord as well when he showed up, and obviously the Lost and Founds. So salutes to Dunks. I wanted to get a play-by-play and his reactions. If not, I got the official Rotten Tomatoes of people's thoughts on that, so we can go down that tonight and break down that. But I want to get Dunk's thoughts. Now, he did text me, so I may just read some of that because he did text me his thoughts from the movie as well. So he kind of summed it up, but you know, getting that live reaction is a different ball game, man. So y'all smash that like button if y'all come in and out of this joint, man, as we get this party started. Let me see who all we got in the building first. Looks like we got Kwame, says, yo, just chilling today, going out later. Okay, Kwame, stepping out to party. Got you. Manny in the building says, yerp, 7 o'clock. That's prime time. Heavenly watched God call from the hotlines. Why he be giving me hotlines? Yay voice. Okay, quoting Mr. Yay. Got you. Kwame says, what's good, Manny? Got Manny says, coolin' my guys, just got home from hitting a rooftop bar with the fams. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. So you feeling nice. You already lit. I feel you. You know how the kid do on my days off. And we'll just leave it at that. Man with the kick says, okay, Kwame turned up later on. Manny says, sheesh, fire, line up, my guy. Appreciate that, man. The barber took care of the kid today. Yep, that's where I was at. I went to the barbershop, and yeah, I don't think he checks out the channel, but I think he knows about it. But salutes to the barber for sure. Fun fact, somebody did text him actually, like saying, like, I guess they recognized me from the video, said that I go here. So I mean, I guess me and one of the people that watch my channel actually goes to the same barber. So pretty cool. You know what I mean? So appreciate that. We got Kwame says, Saturday night always lit downtown. Okay, got you. How's the weather out there, man? Right? Us, man, it's still one of those, it's not freezing cold, but it's chilly, if that makes sense, man. So let's touch on this complex article real quick. This was been updated since April 3rd, so I don't know how I missed this one, but I feel like the news has kind of been all over the place. And is it just me, or is it just a sneaker culture / content / everything sneaker-wise is kind of at a standstill. It's kind of quiet. And we can take that from just before I dive into tonight's live, but we can take that from a point of, like, as far as sneaker YouTube, myself included, we can take that to as far as Nike, as far as the amount of stores we've seen being closed. And I'm talking Foot Locker, how they closed down 400 to reopen 300, but they're still going to be 100 short. Just simple, basic math. We got the one that just happened. It just happened over here that we just touched on. MC pretty much Shoe City, used to be Shoe City. They've shut down their online store. The physical stores are still there, but the online store shut down, which really don't make sense to me if you ask me. We got Ralph Mitchell in the building, says, what's good, Jeremy? What up, Ralph? Y'all smash that like button as y'all come in and out, man. Dunks should be joining us, hopefully within the next 30 minutes or so, but if not, we're going to keep the party pushing. But not only that, what kills me is I'm surprised to see these, with the way the market is, and let's keep it 100, Nike. There's been even alleged stuff with Nike that's saying like, hey, we need help with new, fresh ideas because it's not even moving like that. And if I had to guess, I'm not saying Nike like down, but if I had to guess, like they're probably trying to figure out why we only go crazy for a certain amount of XY shoe and the other stuff that normally would have sold out back in the day. We don't really give it that much attention. And what Nike needs to fail to realize, right? And this is just from the outside looking in. You keep dropping all these hype releases, which they may or may not be doing that on purpose. You see that it sells out and people go crazy, and you see like they can look at the data that we look at, even if it's not all 100% accurate. It's like, bro, just make some more. You see that you sold out, like Chicago. This should have been an easy, like, hey guys, we will do a restock in X amount of month. You know, to kill, it's a lot of things they can do, because I see that Nike wants to stay away from this real versus authentic thing. And I'm not here to pick on Nike, and this is all just a legend in my opinion. But I just say all that to say, like, the market kind of did it to itself. And we've seen, like, right now, we got the DMP 11s that's supposed to be the shoe that's supposed to drop in December. I'm very curious how that's going to go. Apparently it's going to be 1 million pairs, as it should be, but, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people don't even bother. You know, that's just me. Let's see. Kwame says, weather okay here, kind of cold, but no rain. Yeah, we got the chilly vibes. I don't think it necessarily rained. It rained yesterday, but not today. So I was able to make a little bit of moves today as well. Man with the Kick says, salutes to the sold out Discord squad. I'm going to cop some salmon soon. Okay, that's what's up. JB says, all the stores closing in May. They got a sale going on now. Yeah, exactly. A lot of stores is closing, bro. And to be honest, and we had this conversation a little bit too with the Goodfellas, basically is, honestly, I feel like even when me and my barber, we may have touched on this a little bit. Everything kind of just like, I think like everything is through the roof financially right now. I mean, yeah, we good, but at the same time, a lot of these businesses is really starting to feel it as everybody got a budget different now, you know? Even the millionaires and billionaires, you know, it's all apparently, you know, we all, whether we want to realize it or not, we all cycle through our own money. You know what I'm saying? Together we work. That's how it is. You know, one hand scratches the other hand. How I feel like it. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna keep it 100. JB says Shoe City. I'm talking about. Okay, Shoe City. Okay, they doing final. Oh. So the store is closing in May. So I thought it was just the online stores. So the actual physical stores is gonna be closing too. I thought it was just gonna be online. I thought from what I did, and this is all alleged. I thought from what I said on Wednesday from the article I read, they said they was gonna keep the physical stores open, but they may close last. But the online business is probably the easiest to take down first, maybe. Said JB says, yeah, we got to move smarter. We definitely do, man. And I think a lot of people already says, yep, I'm in Baltimore. Okay, B-more, which is Baltimore. Okay, cool, got you. So the physical stores will close. So that makes me also question. I know I was talking about this with my barber for sure. We was talking about sneakers, and he went into some resale shops, I guess, recently. And basically he saw the prices that the resale, these are physical locations that are in our area. I usually stay away from them to keep it 100, because what I've learned with these physical stores is the prices are always going to be more 9 times out of 10 at a physical store. And I'm talking resale shop. Like, say if you look at the market, the shoe going for, we'll say it's averaging $200. If you go to that resale shop, they going to want at least $300. You know what I mean? Because they got a different set of employees, a different set of like everything. You know what I'm saying? They got the monthly rent they got to do for the building, because 9 times out of 10 they don't own it. So if they do, that's probably a plus. But if they don't, so I'll say yeah. The physical store, they definitely got to pay that monthly rent. And we've said this from time and time again. So, yeah, all that stuff adds up. And if you're not getting that many hype releases, and I think that's what Shoe City said whenever we was reading through the article, is basically saying the hype releases that basically keep the stores afloat, they was never getting, allegedly. JB says they messing up with the hype releases now. When got a GR not selling. Yeah, I'll say that because if you think about it, all we got for real, we got some shoes dropping this month, but nothing. All people are talking about is those Travis Olives. And to keep that 100, yes, they're probably going to stay up there on the resale market, but that's only because it's a women exclusive. But a lot of people, they've already making it a women exclusive, meaning if they don't do extended sizes and they sit at 10.5, which that's what they have loaded on the sneakers app last time I checked, or are they loaded up on the sneaker? I don't even know if they're loaded up, but I think when I seen it, it only goes up to a 10.5. Everywhere I seen it, it goes up to a men's 10.5. That kind of a lot of fellas off because I know the average size is anywhere from 10 to like 12 though. You know what I mean? Anywhere from 10 to 12. And some people, like if you're not, the smaller feet gang, I think I'm average size foot. But yeah, they still cutting out a lot of inventory with size 11. I know that's a popular size, and 12. You know what I'm saying? The 13 and up is considered the big feet gang. But I mean, we'll see. Definitely going to be an interesting year, man. And honestly, after these Travises, I don't know what else Nike got really planned for us, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I can look at the calendar, but I'm talking about as far as like what's going to be the breakout shoe for this year. Because to be honest, last year was all right, but it wasn't like, we've definitely seen better years. This year, I've yet to see anything, but there's probably a lot of stuff that still a lot of people don't know about as well. You got to keep that in mind. We got Aaron says size 8 has it good. Yeah, size 8, size 9 got it good too. But I will say I feel like those are some common sizes though. A lot of people could be that size, but then what really killed it is the resellers that go for whatever size is available. They don't even care anymore. I go for my size. Manny says, I'm waiting for dunks before heading to private bay. Okay, got you, says. I'm waiting for dunks before heading to private bay. Okay, wow. Got you. Okay, cool. But yeah, man, this is going to be an interesting year for sneakers. I'm very curious where it's going to go after these Travises because right now we've had some decent drops. But it hasn't been that, like, crazy drop. You know what I mean? Like, we ain't had that, like... But it's still early, though. I will say this. This is the 4th month out of the year. We have 12 months. So we're in month number 4, which is April. It's still early. It's still a little too early to be, you know what I mean, to call it. But let me share my screen. I want to touch on this StockX settlement thing. Now, this is not the Nike joint. This is a class action lawsuit. This is not the Nike joint. Let me share my screen. Boom. So yeah, we see all these ads they got going up on Hulu. Don't ask me why that's on there. I don't even know because that definitely caught the kid off guard. But says this: StockX reaches a settlement on class action lawsuit over hidden fees. Right? Okay. So I guess like all those new hidden. If I had to guess, because I didn't know they had a lawsuit against this, all those hidden fees. Somebody obviously was complaining about it because it's one of those. You don't see the hidden fees. And I know this for a fact, and I haven't shopped StockX but one time. And 2, that was like back in 2017, I think, right? Yeah, 2017. But it didn't have all those hidden fees. And what the prices said, you just paid that plus the tax in your, taxes. But now is that in the taxes? Those fees are really annoying from what I've heard. Aaron says, I heard Nike will be dropping over 40 different dunks this year. They're trying to push the dunks. I hope they really stop trying to push the twos. But they keep trying to push the dunks because they're not doing what they thought they would do. But I mean, they keep dropping the pandas every other week. You know what I mean? But let me get this real quick. It says StockX reaches settlement on class action lawsuit over hidden fees. Now this was on April 3rd. And pretty much says a class action, hopefully, yeah, I read that right. Class action lawsuit filed against the clothing and sneaker retailer StockX has reached a settlement in Quebec. So this was in Canada, which I didn't know there was like an issue. I think I do have what it actually is. I will read over it in a second. But it says the lawsuit alleged the certain prices listed on StockX website, which I completely believe it. Website hid various fees from customers, which goes against Quebec's Customers Protection Act. Oh, so this is something like in Canada you can't do. So I guess it's all right in America if you don't put the fees on until last, and then you're like, hey man, why all this extra stuff? Because that does. StockX is not the only company that does something like that, allegedly. Those eligible for the settlement must have purchased a product on the website using the buy now function between January 8th, 2019 through February 2023. Okay, so anybody from 2019. Okay, so this is going on since then. So it's pretty much from 2019 until February 2023, which that's still a lot of people. Because if they're going off what their sales are, that's still a lot of money. Must have lived in Quebec during the time of purchase. Okay, so you have to be in Quebec, which is in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. Those who fit their criteria will receive a credit of $8 CAD, which I'm assuming that's Canadians, per eligible transaction, with a maximum of 5 transactions equivalent to $40. So at most, they're really going to give them back as $40 a piece. I guess it depends on the sales, yeah. But it says transactions with the maximum of $5 will receive the equivalent of $40. So I guess if you did 5 transactions, and then you know how many people buy shoes though? That still could be added up to a lot, depending on if you did that. Because this is going all the way from 2019 to 2023. So it's still a possibility you could get, you know. I don't think you're obviously not going to be no millionaire though, but you should. I guess what it's trying to do is get your money back, you know, all the fees, which basically should be what it is, right? Those who fit the criteria will receive a credit. Read that one. Let's see. Though the lawsuit has reached a settlement, the Superior Court of Quebec will hold a hearing on May 16th, 2023 to ensure that the settlement is fair, reasonable, and the best interest of the settlement class members. Okay, so it's been, these guys have approved, but they still got to go to court to get it like approved by the judge, which most likely probably not. I don't know how they do it down in Quebec though. So I will say that I know how they do it over in America. Usually the judge will say whatever 9 times out of 10 if the two parties have agreed. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I know personally. Allegedly. But I know I know it's happened to me. I'll speak for myself. Those who wish to exclude themselves from the class action lawsuit may do so by filling out the opt-out form on the settlement website. Those who stay, however, cannot sue or take part in any other lawsuit against StockX that touches on the subject of this lawsuit. So pretty much that's one of those, if you don't want the money, cool, then you have to sue them separately. But for the people who participate in the class action lawsuit, they pretty much can't go after them for anything else regarding like anything that's related to this topic. Okay, makes sense. In 2022, StockX settled a Canadian lawsuit regarding a data breach. Okay, yeah, I definitely want to touch on the data breach one because I definitely forgot. I didn't say forgot, but I remember when that did happen and everybody had lost their accounts. I do want to go over that tonight as well for the people who don't remember the data breach with StockX. Regarding data breach that occurred in May 19 when an unknown third party was able to gain unauthorized access to certain customer data from StockX cloud environment. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure, let me see if I got this one pulled. I'm going to put it in another tab. Yeah, this is it right here. So I definitely want to read over this one a little bit, who's the claim, but I definitely want to touch on that because this one, I don't want to actually read the legal paperwork. I just want to read what actually freaking happened, which it may be all up in this part too. So I will touch on it just a little bit. But yeah, this is, I guess, is the paperwork that was filed, that settlement that pretty much went down between StockX and the data breach. Yeah, because this was where it's, yeah, this isn't a settled agreement approved. So this actually got approved. So this has already been done. Let's see. When an unknown party, we read that one. StockX definitely should have had things more secure if we're going to talk that. What is this? This is the pre-approved document from the class action lawsuit. So StockX, they're no strangers to lawsuits, man. You know, and I'm not here to bash them. I'm not saying they're not doing like a good job, but man, I don't know how many more shots they'll be able to take. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just leave it at that, because if they take any more lawsuits, then the market already not in a good place. You know what I'm saying? So I do want to I'm gonna see if I can pull it up real quick just to see, because like I don't think, and I don't want to just put in lawsuit, because if you type in lawsuit, ain't no telling how many other things will come up with StockX. I probably should just do that. I'm gonna say lawsuit as far as yeah, wherever they were, not the hidden fees, because we already know about the hidden fees, but I do want to know about the data breach. That's what I want to look up, the data breach, because I didn't even know that one actually went down. Let's see, Complex it got hacked, dismissed. Okay, so this actually got dismissed. Now, why didn't I know about this one? This was in December 2021. Did we touch on this one? Let me see. I'm gonna read real quick. I'm gonna share my screen. Give me like 2 seconds. Boom. But yeah, I don't remember it actually being dismissed, and I could have probably touched on this because we do so many lies. It's crazy, but I'm gonna read over this one just real quick. Let's see. Aaron says, I still get letters from the Zeta Kicks class action. I was able to get my money back. That's what's up, yo. That's what's up. I was wondering if anybody had got money back from those people, because that was what happened about the Ponzi scheme, allegedly. He says, I heard Nike will be dropping, yeah, read that one. And then Kwame says, glad you got your money back, Aaron. For real, trust me. And I know it was not necessarily a quick, like, it's to us, it seemed like it just happened like all so quickly. I'm sure it was a long wait for you, you know, at least felt that way. But this is the class action lawsuit. I'm pretty sure, like, did we touch on this one? May not, because this was in December 9th, but I'll just read through it. It's not actually really that long. I just want to touch on it real quick. Because, yeah, I didn't know they was actually even facing a lawsuit. This is related articles to it, too. I like how Complex actually does that, because that's very, very interesting. So, did this one have any related stories to this one? Because I just want to see. Because, this one didn't have any related stories. And that's why I wasn't able to really think about it. But anyway, Aaron says, thinks it took a while. Yes, exactly. One thing I know about lawsuits, as a person who's been to court several times, it's never a quick process. And a lot of times, that's why some people actually just go ahead and settle, because it's really, really annoying. Let's see, the StockX legal saga in connection with the data breach that affected millions of users in 2019 is one step closer to wrapping up after a federal judge in charge of the dismiss consolidate. Yeah, I feel like I've read this before. According to the fashion lawsuit, Michigan District Judge Victoria Roberts has granted StockX motion to dismiss the complaints against the secondary marketplace, citing that StockX terms of service always included an abbreviation agreement, a delegation provision of class action waiver, and instructions of how to opt out of. Okay, so they basically got off on this on a technicality. Before the case was able to make its way to abbreviation of plaintiffs, which included 2 minors, appeal the U.S. Court Appeals for the 6th Circuit, arguing that there's no evidence whether 4 of the plaintiffs accepted StockX term of service. The plaintiffs further argue that the company's terms of service can't be enforced due to their infancy. Okay, this is interesting. So, but I'm pretty sure they still reached a settlement. It says last week, a ruling from the judge from the 6th Circuit declined to side with any of the plaintiffs' arguments about the validity or enforcement availability of StockX terms, and have held the lower court's decision to dismiss the case or continue with. Okay, I'm assuming they reached some type of settlement, but it couldn't have probably been that bad. Yeah, this is very, very interesting. Like, I didn't even remember that one, but that's kind of crazy. I remember the data breach. Let me get that straight. I remember the data breach. This is the John Geiger one. I think I've also heard that John Geiger them are back actually cool. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even think I know. Yeah, I think we may have touched on this one too. Because again, one thing I've noticed, a lot of people have been trying to just make like Nike like spinoffs. And I'm not trying to be mean here, but it's like, again, you can see all the related stories. Warren Lotus, John Geiger. Like, I don't remember even touching on John Geiger's for sure, man. But I know his name always came up. But I also seen something floating around on the internet the other day where people were saying, like, he got sent, like, some Nike shoes and looks like they're back and, like, everything is cool now after, you know, the lawsuit. So I definitely want to read over this a little bit, just get caught up. Because I guess this is an Air Force One all day long, no matter how you slice it and dice it. No, it doesn't have a Nike check, and I know that's a G, but this is my thing too. How many people need to learn to stop trying to like mimic Nike stuff, you know? Because they all eventually, once your stuff blows, this is my thing, is it really worth it? Because once your shoe or product that you rip off allegedly blows up, and Nike then finally get ahead of it, and I'm pretty sure they heard about it in the early terms of things, but it wasn't probably, they probably wait for a certain amount of numbers they could make a rough estimate of what you should be making and what you're selling, and then they go after you, and then they make sure they put you out of business, you know? And then when the people do try to, like, when that happens, they learn real quickly. And I said this too. I said this literally to Dunks, like, no disrespect to the other companies, because me and Dunks have been working on designing our merch behind the scenes, and I've had to have this conversation with Dunks several times and make sure that we're being unique and not, you know, our stuff has got to stand out. And, you know, he's like, yeah, but you know, he's like, I'm getting inspiration from this and this. I'm like, there's fine to get inspiration, but I mean, you can't just flat out and say, okay, cool, take their logo off, put ours on, and call it a day. And then I can understand why it's also complicated too, because there's a gray area of where we see businesses do that and they're doing something completely different, but it's okay, you know, to a certain extent. You know what I mean? We can say restaurants get like loopholes all the time, where how many restaurants sell chicken but they just change the name? You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Like, that's how many burger joints, you know? So it's okay to make a shoe, but I think what Nike has patent, obviously that Nike check is patent, but I mean, like, obviously the soles on it, like, this is literally all you did was take their stuff off and the shape may be slightly different. And then I hate whenever they, like, and I can relate to other people too that's done similar things, they feel like they change the line on the shoe, like change a line and make it go one different direction, like people aren't going to notice. But I think what I was trying to say is, anybody who knows this is why you're buying it, because it looks very similar to Nike shoe. Now, there's some people like me where I'm just like, nope, I don't want it unless it's like the original thing. But then there's some people that's like, hey, this actually looks better than Nike's, even though the reason I like it to begin with is Nike's, but now it's by, I like this person better too. A lot of that could be like influential, you know what I'm saying? Some people buy shoes just off because they like that particular person, like, you know what I mean? Not just because it's a dope shoe, but also it could just be like, man, John Geiger just that dude. You know what I mean? It could definitely just be that. Let's see. Let me hit the chat real quick. Let's see. Kwame says, glad you got a money back. Says, things took a while. The Slayer in the building says, yo, sneaker fam, hope everybody is having a good weekend 100. Aaron says, he is out of Pittsburgh and changed the soles. I think Nike and him low-key work together now. That's what I said too. I think I've seen that floating around. I'm gonna actually search that up, but I actually think I've seen that they're actually working together now, which is very funny. How Nike at one point suing them, didn't want probably nothing to do with them. And I'm gonna read through this article too, but now, like I just was saying, Nike's feeling, apparently rumor has it, right? And this is alleged. Rumor has it Nike has been reaching out to the people that they sell their products to, like a lot of these like they're like boutique stores, and even like I think just regular stores in general, like the boutique stores that sell their product and like Foot Locker and them. They've been asking them, hey, what product has been moving the most, this, that, and the third, because they want to ride the next wave. You know, usually you would think, in my opinion, Nike is the wave trendsetter. They're the one who create the waves. And now they're asking people, you know, what's the next thing so they can make their version, which is okay because I don't think they're going to flat out copy another company. But, you know, with that being said, they should already know this information, if you ask me. The Slayer says, Jeremy and Dunk's going to drop merch today and open the store tomorrow. Hey, that would be great, but it ain't going to be that fast. Like, looking back, it may be, but I think long term, that would be a nice thing. to do. Like, we're working on the merch. I'm definitely getting a design together. I hit the person up yesterday, have him tweaking some things, making sure we good. Cause I'm getting the samples in first. But yeah, me and Dunk's definitely working on that behind the scenes. Dunk's working on some more designs. Dunk's likes it to really design it, so we're getting it together. Mineral Kick says the people make the waves nowadays. That is a fact. That is a fact. Social media has a big impact on it. And I will say this too, since Nike necessarily didn't do, we'll say, the best of getting the market back where people can just, who missed the days, right? And we had this discussion as well we had this discussion yesterday with the Goodfellas, man. Like, who missed the days where you could just wait, like the shoe drops, we'll say it drops today. I don't feel like going tonight. I don't feel like going Saturday. I'm going to go Sunday morning. The shoe will be there. I'll even go on my day off. Say you get off on Tuesday. Like, I'll go then, go check out the shoe, get to try it on. Who missed the days of where you try? There ain't no more trying on. We have to go by trial and error. And this is where YouTube content, or just in general, what people leave their reviews like, hey, everybody already knows, hey, Air Force Ones tend to run big. You might want to go half a size down. Or we'll know that we can say the foam posits. How do we know, hey, these fit tight? You might want to go a half size up. Same with Yeezys, because the fitting on the Yeezys be all over the place. So those were the good days where you could actually like go in and actually try on your sneakers, man. I will say I missed that. And I know a lot of sneakerheads said that that was in the game with me. And I had took a break out of it too at one. I was still 1 foot in. I couldn't go no years without buying shoes, but I would definitely wasn't like all the way in the way I am now. But I know, like, as things change where you couldn't just pull up to the store no more, that's when I seen people leave. And then whenever the long line situation, I remember the line situation, they were like, nope, not waiting in line. That took out a lot of the OG sneakerheads. And then once they moved to the app, that took some more people out, man. Looks like we got a new subscriber in the building, man. What is it? Revan Camp. Hopefully I'm reading that correctly. Just subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you for subscribing. Y'all smash that like button, man. Really goes a long way. Really, really goes a long way and really helps the channel out. Kwame says, I miss trying stuff on because shoes sizing be different from the same exact shoes. That's a fact. Not every shoe fits the exact same. And I think the only reason, because I noticed I did go true to size on those foam posits, the PE joints. I went true to size, but I'm like, only reason, because now I'm basing off the phone. Thank God I wore my phones recently, like within the last couple weeks. And I was like, hey, the fitting is not as bad as I remember it used to be. But I also noticed I did lose a few pounds. So that could be a possibility of all a mixture of that. But I will say it still was that good. It still reminded me that the shoe don't bend and it's not flexible and it's not stretchable. Like I will say, at least with the Yeezys, if you wear them long enough, you can stretch them out a little bit. With leather, it can give a little bit, but these foam posits, I don't see how you play ball in them. I really don't. I really don't. But I do want to look and see if there's anything floating around that John Geiger and Nike may be working together. Give me like 1 second. I want to put that in the search engine real quick. Y'all smash the like button all the way, man. So definitely goes along. I definitely want to see if there's like any truth to that. I'm gonna just pull up his name. We got the website. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. I don't see anything floating around. It just got his own website and he got some stuff on GOAT. And yeah, let me see. I'm gonna just touch the news tab just to see if there's anything floating around real quick. Nope. Last thing we got was from August 2022. So pretty much, I will probably pull up that lawsuit, but we kind of already know about that one. I thought there was one where it was floating around and him and Nike was gonna work together, and I think he did. He was on Complex like Full Size Run too for a second. He had a very good interview, if I'll say that. But yeah, let me go back to the main. Let me share my screen. Like, give me like 2 seconds, and then. But yeah, interesting. Very, very interesting for sure. So this is that lawsuit here where I think they didn't settle out. It says the Nike legal battle involving designer John Geiger, who is accused of ripping off. It ain't. I mean, yeah, I remember reading a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna read through the whole thing. Nike sued California-based manufacturer La La Land Productions for trademark infringement. So I'm assuming that's his company, in January 2021, alleging that they made bootleg version of Nike sneakers, including those designers have worn Lotus. Oh, so Lala Productions is the people who actually did. Oh, are those the people who actually they be going to get the shoes made? I ain't never heard of La La Land Productions. I'm gonna have to put this in there because apparently these are the people. Yeah, because Warren Lotus, his definitely was some rip off of some dunks. I want to see if this is like a manufacturer that actually does a lot of this stuff because this is very interesting, man. I've seen some sneaker YouTubers make some joints out there as well. You know what I'm saying? Independent full service photography and film production company based in. No, this ain't the one then. I gotta read the one that's like in, cause this one it says we have offices in New York and LA, so it has offices in, but I don't think. I think this is it here. La La Design. I think this is it right here. La La Land Design. Oh, but their page is actually closed down. But yeah, this is probably it. It's like a manufacturer thing, but yeah, they don't even have it up anymore. Yeah, this was it. Footwear designer, but they don't actually have like an actual website anymore. But I think this is two different things right here. Yeah, because even if you try to take it to the main page, or this the same thing, yeah, I don't think they actually have it anymore. So this is it, but this is about movies. Yeah, they got like a production, but then the one for like clothing, that's shut down. So I'm assuming Nike went on to take care of that. Let me share my screen. I'll just show y'all what I'm talking about. Cause like this right here, this one is like a film and photography, but the one that's actually designer, this one is like La La Land Design. That's La La Land Production. But actually this is it right here. If you click on this link, it's not going to take you anywhere. So I'm assuming Nike went on and just took care of business on this. Cause this, if you take it right here, this is all it does. It takes you pretty much nowhere. And says that this has been done. The connection was reset. It's done. So I'm assuming this is the company that they went after because these are the people that's probably making it. Very interesting. So we shouldn't see too many more. Granted, we're going to still see a lot of knockoffs. But yeah, that's really interesting. So that's who they were using. So they sued them. So if the page is down, I'm assuming that means Nike won that joint as well. No pun intended. Let's see. Nike. Yeah, it says for those of designer Warren Lotus, which we already know what he was. I think they got him out the way. Nike added Geiger to the complaint in August, saying that La La Land made his. I wonder how they found out who was making the product. Some people was running their mouth and probably talking way too much. You know what I'm saying? If I had to guess. Yeah, because I mean that's how you learn about a lot of things. Those through word of mouth. A motion to dismiss the amend complaint against him this month. Geiger's lawyers argued that Nike trade dress and kind of trademark that deals with something's physical appearance for the Air Force One was not strong enough to protect. They pointed out the differences between the GF-01, which is, I'm guessing that's the Geiger joint shoe, and the Air Force One, claiming the customers would not likely confuse the two shoes. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm sorry. Yes, the sneakerhead community is not gonna confuse this shoe. You know what I'm saying? But if I take this to a non-sneakerhead, and I was gonna give an example, but we'll just say a non-sneakerhead, a person who just like, there's some people I know literally to just come in and like, yo, last shoe I bought was back in like 2016. You know, as far as like hype shoe. Some people just got phone posits. They told me like last phone posit I bought was back in 2016. And I'm like, okay, cool. So if somebody's been out that long of the game and then comes back in and then they see these and they're like, oh man, you know what? Nike making these Air Force One with the G joints. You know? That's the confusion that Nike is talking about, but the other people saying that it shouldn't cause any confusion because we took their logo off. We love the silhouette though, which Nike pretty much owns most of that silhouette. You know what I'm saying? People keep doing it, and it's really, if I'm getting annoyed, I can only imagine what Nike's feeling. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Kwame says, hold up, let me hit the chat real quick. Says, let's see. Kwame says, no, Manu Kick says, I got a couple designs in a stash for whenever you Gucci, my guys. I mean, hey, send them through. Send them through. I ain't, we looking now. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you want to hit the if you want to send some designs over, man, you know how to hit us in the Sold Out Discord for sure. Yeah, definitely hit us up in that. And then let's see. Kwame says, LOL, at least Bape admitted it in the Air Force Ones that's been tweaked a little. Yeah, Bape already knew what's up. But see, Bape, they got them on up out of here too. We ain't about to see. Nike not playing, but at the same time, man, I think a lot of this all boils down to the state of what the country's in right now. If we're going to keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? If everybody was eating, but now everybody making sure they going to take care of they, money that was out there, Nike getting back, they coming to recoup. And that's really fair. But I can see how somebody could confuse this shoe. In response, filed last week, Nike said that the Geiger GF01 sneaker and the trade dress for its Air Force One in nearly identical. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, Nike said it looks nearly identical. I can see that. The memo references, however, Geiger himself has acknowledged the shoe's similarities, writing that that's the point. An Instagram comment addressing a user pointing out how his model looks like the Air Force One. So he's already admitted what he was doing. You know what I mean? I personally wouldn't. I don't think it's even worth. Why would even take this route? You know what I'm saying? And then of course they got Warren Lotus joints right here, which I'm sorry, that's a pigeon dunk all day long. No matter how you slice and dice that. You know what I'm saying? The Slayer says Nike Air Force Ones will never be out of style. They clean on everything. This is true, and this is why a lot of people mimic that shoe. It's a timeless classic shoe. You know what I'm saying? It's this one shoe, right, that can literally go with, I'm going to say that if people like, yo, if somebody like, Jay, what shoe would you get on a budget, blah, blah, but I can't, I ain't going to be able to get no shoes for a long time, but I need it to go with all fits. I need it to last all summer and all winter. I don't know. I don't know about durability, but as far as something long-term, Air Force One all day. Get a white joint or a black joint. Pause. Hopefully I said that correctly. Yeah. Get you a white sneaker or a black sneaker, Air Force One, and you're good. Especially those days when it used to be $90, where now it's like $110, $120. I missed the $90 price point. That was fair. You know what I'm saying? It was perfect back then. So yeah, that's now long gone because we got inflation coming through the roof like a mug, man. On that, not just sneakers, but everything. You know what I'm saying? Manuel Kick says big facts, Slayer, and especially the Air Force One Uptown White. Of course, I feel like if you're gonna have an Air Force One, in my opinion, if you're gonna have an Air Force One, you gotta have an all white joint. The all black joint, all white joint, anything else is kind of like pick your poison, but I think at minimum, I feel like all white has gotta be required. You know what I'm saying? It's perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those, I like it with any fit. Pretty much. Let me read through the rest of this article. It says, Nike did not respond to requests for comment. It says, in other words, the memo reads, rather than dispelling any potential confusion, John Geiger himself concedes that the relativeness was very point of creating the shoe. So he admitted that's why he made the shoe. So Nike's already got more than I already knew how this was going to go. I mean, we didn't have to guess this one. Nike did not respond to requests for comment. Details of Geiger's argument aside, Nike's lawyers say that his motion to dismiss fails because it's based heavily on impermissible evidence that goes beyond what was included in the amended complaint. Geiger's lawyers have argued that Nike Air Force One is recognizable as a Nike item because of the large swoosh across the side, not because of its overall shape and design. Because the GF, and I'm assuming this is the Geiger Air Force One shoe, uses a logo distinct from the swoosh. They say, everybody keeps trying to fight this swoosh. Everybody thinks, I'm tired of these people, like, keep it 100. Not just him, but just all the people who gets that silhouette and thinks like, okay, cool. All we got to do is remove the Nike check and put this on there, and now it's different. Like, no, it's not. It's different, but it's still a Nike shoe first. You guys didn't do the back end work of putting the shoe together. You took a product that was already created and just slapped your logo on it and took theirs off. Now, on the flip side, where we can say where a lot of this stuff don't really apply to, is the people who make coffee makers, and then they just put different brands on them and just move the buttons around, and so to speak. Let's just keep it 100. You can get you can go to, like, we'll say a department store. You're in the market for a new coffee maker, right? They got hundreds of them, right? You got two side by side. They look identical. One has one company's name on it. The other one has a different company name on it. They look exactly the same, except the buttons are in a different place. There's usually no lawsuit there. But, and maybe that's what these guys are thinking was like, hey, if these other brands and companies can do it, why can't we? But that just goes to show you how clothing and sneakers is completely different compared to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess coffee makers would be more of a general item. But then again, I see why I argue. Because me, if I'm a lawyer and I'm knowing that if you bring this, this is going to be contradicting as well. Because the problem with lawyers, there will always be a lawyer 9 times out of 10 to take your case. But what I really should say, there always will be a lawyer out there willing to take your money, even though you don't got a chance in hell of winning. And this is one of those, like, yeah, man, I believe you, man. We need, X amount of thousands of dollars to get started. Because if you ever had a lawyer I'll say this: if you get an attorney that take hundreds, you about to be in the high hundreds. It ain't gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. I'll say that. So, yeah, and for this type of case, I know this was thousands of dollars, but I was about to say, if I was an attorney looking at this, a guy brings this to my table, I'm like, man, what would you want me to do? You know what I mean? What do you want me to do? In my opinion, So, yeah, so the lawyer's just doing his job. I get it, but I mean, they have to know, like, I know Geiger, who else we can think? Warren Lotus, Geiger, Cool Kai, Omni and the Hellcat. Who else have done it, man? We've had other companies to try this as well. They have to know at some point, once Nike puts in that, like, call to make the case start up, you have to know your days are pretty much numbered at that point, I would think. I'm like, all right, well, Nike's got a hold of us. That's pretty much it, guys. I want to start wrapping up now. Save our money on the attorneys, because we're not taking it to court, and we're definitely trying to settle, especially if they send you a cease and desist. If I'm not mistaken, they send you a cease and desist first. It'd be like, hey, stop it. I honestly would just stop it at that point. Like, okay, cool, whatever money we'll make. But see, at this point, Nike probably may be playing chess, not checkers, because you may be, we've been getting away with it for, like, what? We'll just start a magic number, a couple years now, right? Now we went from instead of ordering a small shipment, we've ordered a big shipment, and we still need to recoup. Because it's not, even though it doesn't cost that much to get a shoe made, but if you trying to get that, you still need money up front. Like, I'm sure they got a sample made of the shoe. Like, okay, cool. Now I'm pretty sure the manufacturer's like, okay, cool. At minimum, we're gonna but they'll make you as many as you want, right? And this is how I know Nike don't have to have such a limited number, because they can go to multiple factories. But what I was gonna say is, pretty much, whenever you order, like, in bulk after getting some design, I'm learning this now, I'm speaking from own experience, you have to order a certain amount. There's a minimum amount. Like, usually the magic number is anywhere from 50 to 100, and then sometimes it's even more. So I don't know how it is with shoes, because I ain't even looked into designing my own shoe, but I say all that to say, like, at this point, the person's probably gearing up to drop a big drop of shoes, and they got, like, a big inventory, and they need to recoup while they all right, but they looking to make that. That's how they stay in business, because you got to spend money to make money in these type of situations. So yeah, Nike hit you with that, and now you got a lawsuit, and now you got to pay that money to the attorney, because no attorney ain't finna work for free. And if they do pro bono, if a lawyer takes your case with no money, knowing that you're gonna win some money, you're not gonna get all of it. They're gonna get majority of it because they not working for free. They taking out of it because even the foul stuff isn't cheap. It's not expensive it's only expensive whenever the attorney has to do it. But whenever in some cases, I know personally as I've been down this road, you can go get the damn documentation and quote unquote try to file it yourself. The judge 9 times out of 10 don't want to hear it unless it's somebody who, because you're not gonna be able to. That's the thing with the legal. You're not going to be able to word it how they want you to say it. You know what I'm saying? They use different words that could simply just mean like, oh, we're just trying to get this case over with and end it, aka dismiss. You know what I'm saying? Little things like this. It's just like they use different words where it has to be all legal terms, which I have my own thoughts about the legal system. And if I go on that, we will be on this joint for 2 hours, and I'm only going to be on this joint for like another 30 minutes or so. You know, we try to keep these at an hour and 30 minutes. But yeah, I say all that to say, like, legal system, they word things differently, right? And then as you can see, they got up on the images here. Dude, obviously, I'm pretty sure they let him pretty much get as much money. And then now we're like, okay, we're coming in to stop it. They're not mostly got want to, and they keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Yeah, he claims it's a different swoosh. But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the only thing that's different. Other than that, it's the same damn shoe, you know, in my opinion. The issue of whether or the two extinct customers recognize the Air Force One trade dress and the absence of the swoosh is a question of a fact for the jury and inappropriate to consider on motion to dismiss, the memo reads from Nike. So he wanted to just dismiss it. Nike said no. Hell no. Geiger's motion to dismiss, his lawyers say that the La La Land had only made a prototype shoe for him and wasn't regularly producing the GF01. And Nike's response, the brand claims that it's obtained documents showing La La Land has produced significant qualities of multiple styles of the Geiger Air Force One. I'm gonna call it that. I'm not calling it the GF01. It's the Geiger Air Force One, in my opinion. In a statement, the complex Geiger again distanced himself from La La Land. So pretty much, I don't know. I guess that's the company he used, but I will say this: that company's done. So not, they're well. Let me put it this way: they probably changed their name or something because people are still getting it done. The Slayer says haters always copying the original. Man, don't even get me started, man. It's okay, and that's the thing too. It's okay, in my opinion, to do inspiration from hey, we see that, but you can't flat out just copy somebody else's stuff. That's not cool. You know what I mean? But I know it's always a gray area because it's not saying, and this is where people misunderstand. It's they're not saying you can't make shoes. You just can't make it exactly like theirs. And then people think, well, we'll change. All you got to do is change enough, but I still want it to look like a Nike. No, you don't want it to look like a Nike. You know what I mean? Adidas look like Adidas for a reason. Nike looks like Nike for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And then you argue the point where some people are like, well, if we put out something else where it's completely new, nobody's going to it's not going to sell as fast. That's my thing. They don't want to put it. Nike started from nowhere too. You know, I ain't trying to defend Nike on this one, but yeah, that's just my thing. So let me read this statement from Geiger. It says, now in its amended complaint, does Nike accuse me of selling fake or counterfeit Nikes as it does for La La Land? Geiger says, nobody's saying they're fake Nikes. They're saying this is my thing too. People be missing the point. Do they be so zoned out? Nobody's saying it's not your own shoe, but we're saying, well, that's the thing is it's too heavily Nike inspired, man. And brands have done this all the time. It's not that I think it's a fake Nike. I just think hey, we could tell where you got the idea from a little too obvious. You know what I'm saying? It's cool to say man, the best ones where you be well, when you sit down to the designer sometime, actually I got inspiration from this, and this, and they're and then finally you're oh, you have to blink twice to see it. But if you can see it at first glance, oh yeah, that's Nike. Oh, that's not Nike. Is that Gucci? No, that ain't Gucci. You know what I'm saying? The logo, no. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. If people gotta bat an eye at it twice, you'll probably be okay. But if they can look at first glance, oh, let's look at these Nikes, and it's not Nikes, that's where that's a little too much. And that's pretty much obvious on that one. Let's see. Aaron says Geiger used to work for Nike, almost launched a shoe he designed. Oh wow, interesting. I did not know that. Did not know that. I think pretty much we're gonna do this. I want to touch on the Air movie a little bit too before I get on up out of this thing real quick. I think I got everything else where I wanted to be. I think we already covered this one on a live earlier, the Geiger joint. Pretty much they're comparing the two. They usually get out the similarities between the Air Forces ones, like these G's and the Nikes. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's still it's too much like an Air Force One. And that's the point that a lot of these designers be missing, man. You can't flat out you can't take somebody else's silhouette and literally just put your logo in. And then it kill me is like, they logo still be pushing it with the Nike check joint, if you ask me, because you see how the Nike checks extend. You know, they still make it extend. They don't just put like a logo here and it be empty there. They make sure it covers just like it's not the flow of a Nike check, but it's got that like man, it's too much. Like, you know what I'm saying? If Nike did it first, they just did it first. Just accept it, man. You know, I'm not gonna read through this whole entire thing of what he said, but honestly, he has to know. This is Mischief, new shoe, total legal for real time. Yeah. So Mischief, I will say, they do try to do their own thing, but they've been sued. A lot of these companies have been sued too, man. Because I remember Mischief got theirs sued as well. But let me touch on this Rotten Tomatoes real quick. I was hoping Dunks would be able to get on and tell us his thoughts. But if not, we can catch him whenever he be able to hop back on. Maybe probably like Wednesday or maybe even like on Monday as well, because we do got Music Mondays coming up right around the corner. But this is the film Air. It did drop on the 5th, so now the day is the 8th, so people have had time to watch it. Now, I did see people in the Sold Out Discord telling us, you know, that they were going to check it out. No major feedback on it. Like I said, I got some from Dunks. I'm going to read over his a little bit. Jay Brooks in the building says, "What up, sneaker fam? Did anybody catch Air yet? I may wait until it streams, but is it worth it? I'll make the journey." From what I'm seeing, the tomato is right. If we're looking at the score, it says 92%, and the audience, let's see, the Rotten Tomatoes gives it 92%. I'm assuming out of 100, and the audience scores it a 98. So I say all that to say, and I'm gonna read what Dunks has on what he texted me. Let me pull up the Dunks message real quick, because I know we were talking about it earlier. Let me see. He pretty much texted me, says, he said the movie is meh, like pretty much like it's all right, okay. And he says, I mean, it's worth the watch for history, but in my honest opinion, it was deeper than the Jordan and Nike deal. So he says it was deeper than the Jordan and Nike deal. Let's see. And Jordan was in it, but they never showed his face. All you see is his back turn. And he said, I was like, that wasn't Jordan. So, okay, wow. So, yeah, pretty much, yeah, I got what you're saying. So, pretty much from what Dunks is saying, like, Jordan was barely in the movie, and they said when they showed him, it was pretty much like they didn't even show a full face of him in the movie. So, pretty much, while this goes around, from what I'm getting, is this movie is pretty much what changed the sports about them getting the Nike deal. It wasn't necessarily about Jordan. So, I say this, and I stand by this on the movie, and this is from a person who hasn't seen it yet, and I know, Jeremy, you can't be reviewing something, blah, 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 blah. Look, Dunks, I'm going to go off what Dunks is saying. Now, this is what I was thinking to begin with. I feel like, look, if the Air movie comes on, like, streaming services that I'm already paying for, or on just regular TV, then yeah. Like on a Friday night, Saturday night, I'm done. Like after this live, say like if it's available to watch right now of stuff I already pay for, sure, I will check it out. And I've heard great things. But at the same time, would I go to an expensive movie theater with the popcorn and the movie? And I'm not knocking the people that did do this, because hey, movies may be your thing. But if it's like a date night with you and the boo and this and the third, yeah, sure. But I know, like, I'm not going to go out my way to go see it is what I'm trying to get at. And it may be the best movie of all time. You know, and I can look at some of the critic reviews because we definitely have that here up on the screen. Like I said, I kind of figured where this was going anyway, but I do want to read over some of the Rotten Tomato joints. Says the film certainly invites feast to pump and celebrate fist pumps in the celebration. Its less certain air offers any meaningful critique of the society that gave us the scared gutty. That made yeah, he's a top critic. Can we just put it in lame? See, this how I know it ain't sneaker related for real, because there ain't nothing really. And then talking about Affleck return to director chair is an exceptional success, stimulated by its script and cast. See, they're reviewing things where I'm not. I guess maybe as a sneakerhead, I'm not even thinking about. Like he's talking about the director and stuff like that. The decision to deny Jordan a character presence. Okay, finally somebody that's given, this was a 4 out of 5. So the decision to deny Jordan a character presence conspicuously muzzles a pivotal character and clumsily out of step with a movie that is otherwise the definition of carefully considered, precisely told, error-free filmmaking. Okay, so I'm not feeling these Rotten Tomato like things, man. These people are, this may be their job, but it's like, holy crap. Like they don't, and maybe they're definitely looking at the movie. We need some sneakerhead reviews is what I'm assuming right now, right? We need some sneakerhead reviews, bro. Cause they're talking straight off of just quality of the film. And I'm talking like everybody has their different type of thoughts with it, I guess. Let's see. Air mainly takes place in drab office, yet the cast expert performances transforms those spaces much in the same way that Michael Jordan transformed courts and sneaker racks by turning them into sites of magic. These critics are not like, these are none like the Slayer. Yeah, you're saying they're right. The Slayer says critics definitely ain't no sneaker. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like these reviews, these critic reviews are making me feel like I'm like, I don't know, like what the hell am I reading? It's like, yo, what are we gonna talk about? This and the third. Many says 4.3 is it worth waiting? Is worth waiting, chat. I think it's definitely worth waiting for, like when it comes on TV, man, because it's my thing. No Michael Jordan appearance, and it's a thing. I know if Dunks was here, he'd argue me, it's not about Jordan, blah, 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 blah. I know. And he would also probably be here to argue like, but see, that's the point. It's not about the shoes either, blah, blah. I know. But it's still like, it's about Nike going to get Nike to get Jordan signed. I know, but they still got to find a way to incorporate the stuff that will probably grab our attention, I would think. But I mean, it's a story before the story, long story short. And I mean, it's interesting, but it's kind of like that we would want to see this. I'll put it this way. This is a film that I feel like it's not bad, but it's something where this should be summed up and about, they can incorporate this whole movie inside of another Michael Jordan movie, I feel like. Because they can make a movie about Jordan and incorporate the deal signing of it all together. Like The Last Dance, that did that. You know what I'm saying? That did that. That was a documentary. But look how many sections of that documentary, how long was that joint? You know what I'm saying? So it would definitely be a long movie. Well, if you get the right person, the right writers, and they know how to cut out a lot of the fluff, they could do that, in my opinion. Let's see. Jay Brooks says, those critics like Jordan 15s. Bro, I don't think I want to read another critic joint, bro. Like, because honestly, it's like, think about it. I read a whole like article from Complex or from Nice Kicks, no problem. Like, sure, I don't read it perfectly because, I'm reading it and comprehending it back out loud to you guys. I'm reading these joints, trying to do that same thing, and these are like literally like 3 to 4 sentences. If some of them are even one sentence, like I'm just like, yo, This is not what I'm like. The one I see right now, it says, "I triumph return to form for Ben Affleck as a director. Pure entertainment from beginning to end." Bro, that is somebody, like, he's not a top critic, but I have a feeling they didn't do that for free. Now, I've seen other sneakerheads talk about this, so I'm very curious. Like, I seen one of them actually, like, did a talk about it on their, like, local news channel, I believe. So, very interesting. The Slayer says, "Those critics are cringe." Bro, don't get me started. I didn't not want to say it, but it's like, they're really killing me. And I'm just reading, like, the simple ones. It says, "So we can draw the conclusion that subtextually," look at the word they're using, right? At least, Air is both gross and weird and ODE to capitalism, but in its own way, but it is any fun to watch, sort of. So I'm assuming this one, this little green dot joint, means that he didn't give it a good rating, because some people give it I guess those are tomato people, you know what I'm saying? But I think they do got it broke down. Let's see. Rotten. Okay, so this, I'm gonna click this because it's supposed to be the rotten. Okay, cool. If it's rotten, that's what you get. So we draw red down when it says, "Air part of the wave movies that treat corporate products as their own IP with questionable worthy organ stories." Feels like, yeah, these critics, even these Rotten Tomato joints, it really, like, sucks. I'm sorry. And this is Sean Edwards, and he's apparently with Fox 4 Kansas City. Air is another story about rich, privileged men once again making money off of... Oh my... Wow, this guy just took it there? Like, come on, man. And I'm black, you know? But it says, yeah, rich, privileged men once again making money off black culture without paying tribute or acknowledging the very people that helped making them richer. Viola Davis attempts to save things, but can't do it alone. Wow. You might not want to... You better hope that don't take off, buddy. It's pretty brave. I haven't seen the film, but I don't get that vibe from it. You know what I mean? I really just think it was showing the grind that Nike had to go through to get Jordan what it is. And then apparently, you know, he wanted to go with Converse first, you know, or Adidas, you know? And they pretty much bought a whole design, and now he's got his own. They basically created his own line. So, Eric keeps it feet firmly on the ground and is far from a slam dunk. Air is meaningful movie, but is unsatisfying one. Okay, so finally a pretty decent, like, you don't have to think too deep into this. Man, this is crazy. So yeah, you can go top critics. I don't like these top critics. If we do all audiences and then verified audience. Okay, it was entertaining. I enjoyed the story and revisiting history of that time. So this is just, I guess, people who actually watch it that's not a critic. So the critics people, I'll just say this. This is probably what I should have read first, because the critic joints, no disrespect, they just word things slightly different. That's okay. That's okay. I'm just saying they word things slightly different. Let's see. True story. Enjoyed the movie. A film about the American dream. No, not patriotism, but the build on hope that our goals can be seen through its others just believe. It was great to see how the Air Jordans came to be, entertaining for fun. The movie was great. Acting and writing was wonderful. I went in knowing a few things and came out knowing a lot more about how Dolores Jordan changed how athletes are rightfully confiscated for their name/image. Okay, that's Michael Jordan's mom endorsements. Okay, so she changed the game. So yeah, but I feel like they could have incorporated that in just like a full-on Michael Jordan movie as well. The Slayer says these critics have no air, let alone they can't jump. Yeah. So I'll say to sum it all up, is it a movie worth watching for like how should I put it? I ain't gonna say entertainment, but probably educational purposes. Maybe so. You know, if you want to go down there and learn some things, but I still don't think it's gonna teach you the full-on history about Jordan, because I don't think that's what it's about. It's just about Nike, basically how Nike coming about, man. Not one that I read about a Fox reporter. I feel like, I don't know if he meant to put that in a different movie or not. Because that don't seem I definitely didn't see that one. Says amazing story and well acted by Damon. The cast came together and an overall plain story was turned into a very enjoyable film. Way better than I thought it would be. Funny at times when I needed to be, humbling when needed as well. Damon did a great job. So glad it was in the theaters and not on TV. I mean, I don't think it would have made a difference if it was in the theaters or in the, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you can get it on like a streaming services. One of the best movies ever, writing, acting, directing, most. A lot of these people are biased though. I don't feel like these people are, like, what we need is, in my opinion, I think the sneakerheads have to go see this movie, man. And I think a lot of us, a lot of sneakerheads probably didn't go see the movie. That's who we need to go see it. We need to probably have like sneakerheads watch the joint. Cause right now these are you, especially if you're like a critic and all you do is watch movies. This don't really, I don't know. I feel like this is meant for, I don't know which audience they were aiming for. You know, I don't know which audience they're aiming for because it definitely wasn't the sneaker community, in my opinion. You know, it couldn't have been the sneaker community, because if there was a sneaker community, you know, and let me clarify this. I'm not saying I'm gonna put myself back on the main screen because I'm only gonna be on for like another like 5 minutes or so. But I'll say this: I get it, right? With this whole like Air movie, I get it, as in like, hey, we don't need, you know, they don't need to give us the whole history of like every Jordan and how they designed it, this and the third. But I feel like this wasn't a strong enough, and again, I haven't seen the movie, so maybe I need to see it, but I don't feel like it was a strong enough point where it's a movie that should have been on its own just yet, you know. And I know Complex did their own thing about it. I may pull that one up. I know Matt Walty, he wrote a few things about it, because I know he did his full-on review about it. Let me see if I can probably pull that one up real quick. I'll share my screen on that, because maybe he put on something there slightly different, because he should be a sneakerhead, right? You know, to the best of our knowledge. So I'll see if we can pull that up, and because I'm pretty sure I saw he did one on Complex, and I'll see if I can pull that one up real quick, because I did have it up and I just closed it out like I don't know, like I'm slow or something. But give me like 2 seconds. Pretty sure all I got to do is hit through the history real quick, and then we should be able to get it right back up on the screen. Recently closed, Air movie, boom, boom. I think this is it right here. Boom. I think I got it. Yeah. With Brandon Dunn. I said Matt Walty. Wow. I be watching too much sneaker stuff, man. But yeah, this is what I was talking about right here. He did his own Air loosens Nike's grip on its legend. So I think pretty much I just want to read through the highlights of what he did, because I think he gave a good review on the movie as well. I didn't have a chance to actually read through it, but he definitely did write a lot. I just want to see, did he say anything? Obviously, he says something slightly different, but I don't see anything in bold. It says, where did Nike, and a brand that was barely relevant in basketball in the mid-1980s, find the foresight to go all in on signing a young Michael Jordan and make him the star of the lineup of basketball sneakers? How could this brand possibly have foreseen Jordan, who has already accomplished but had yet to play a game in the NBA, was worth its entire marketing budget, and who convinced the reluctant Jordan, who at the time preferred Adidas, to sign with Nike? He won. Yeah, exactly. A lot of us already know that. Now, it depends on who you ask. So pretty much he's going over the movie and stuff like that. So I think he may give a more technical review. We'll see. I'm going to read on it just for a little bit real quick. I got a few minutes. Let's see. Jay Brooks says, you can have whatever you like. Sorry, couldn't resist. Let's see. Resign staff says, can I have shoes? You can have whatever shoe. Yeah, I'm with Jay Brooks. You can have whatever shoe that you put your footwork in and try to find. Now, some shoes, I was looking at some old skate shoes. They don't make them anymore, and nobody has them anymore. We actually skated our shoes back then, so almost any shoe, depending. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. The question of who deserves the most credit has been contested by aging sportswear execs for years now. The most deadly answer comes to Air, then Ben Affleck and Matt Damon movie released this week that tells the story of Jordan signing to Nike in 1984 and the creation of the Air Jordan sneaker. It centers on the efforts of Nike exec Sonny Varco, played by Damon, as he persuades CEO Phil Knight, played by Affleck, to bet big on Jordan. Okay, so he saw something big in Jordan where they feel like they could have it all. And I guess it was definitely working, because look at there now. In the movie, Varco and the protagonist, the one who identifies Jordan's potential and champions him within the walls of Nike, the real life Varco who bounced to Adidas and later Reebok after being fired by Nike in 1991, has long held that he was instrumental in bringing Jordan to Nike. Okay, so he doesn't even work for Nike anymore. He's bounced between other companies. This does not happen. This isn't self-glorification. If they don't invite me to the meeting, the word changes, Varco said in the 2021 interview with Complex, recalling his role in signing Jordan. Okay, so yeah, this guy wanted a lot of credit and probably rightfully deserved. Jay Brooks says, man, DC used to get my money plenty back in 09. I had a few of them and wore them out. Yep, you're talking about DC shoes, yeah. I had a couple DC skating shoes. I've had them all. I've had Osiris skating shoes, S, which we used to call it ES. We didn't know it was S back then, but I've had S. I've had Etnies. You name it, man. Circa had a pair of those as well. Obviously Nike SBs. Yeah, I've had them. I've had pretty much every skate shoe. Lakai had Lakai skate shoe. Supra, you can't forget to run with Supra, because if you can't, because Circa was where Chad Muska was, and then he started with Supra. He helped create Supra, to the best of my knowledge. He brought on the Skytop. So telling my age and that I used to be a major sneakerhead, skate sneakerhead as well. You know what I'm saying? I just always been into shoes. Let's see, but yeah, pretty much Matt, I keep calling him Matt, but it's Brandon Dunn. He pretty much writes, this is his pretty much synopsis or his critic on the movie, and to be honest, he may have a more better point because he does have a sneakerhead mindset, but it looks like, oh, honestly, if I had to guess, it looks like he's telling the story, because look how long it is. Like, if you don't want to watch a movie, it seems like he's telling it all here, and I don't want to say that's the thing, but yeah, because I didn't read the whole thing, so that's just my opinion and alleged. But yeah, I think he probably is gonna have the best, like, anybody that's a sneakerhead that's gonna give like a good review, the type that we're probably looking for. He would probably be the best person to do so, you know, in my opinion. But pretty much, man, we're gonna talk upcoming releases, and then we're gonna get on up out of here for tonight. Y'all smash the like button. Pretty much, I think the only thing on the radar for this month, and when I say radar, I don't even mean for me, but I'm thinking if Dunks is still filling them, we'll see what we can do for Dunks. Is those Travis Scott, the Jordan 1 low Travis Scott, the olive joints. That's pretty much coming at the end of the month, to the best of my knowledge. I think Travis' website releases it first, and then Nike will do theirs. Don't quote me. And I was just telling the good fellas and Dunks in general, I feel like Travis isn't into his own sneakers anymore. We haven't really seen or heard much from him, but I know it's against the whole Astro World thing and all that going on. So it's a lot of things to really think about as why Travis is, I'll say, ever since Astro World, it's just been a different ball game with the shoes, in my opinion, with him. They still doing their thing, but they're not like the ones whenever before all that went down. Kwame says, I should have my Dunk ID this week, then I'm good until the Travis drop. Okay, respect that. Manny says 150,000 pairs for the Jordan 1 Olive Travis joints. Yeah, I've heard that. And I saw you post that in the sold out Discord as well. Salutes to Manny. So apparently there's supposed to be 150,000 pairs. So if I had to guess, Travis Scott website is going to get 50 and Nike's going to hold the remaining 100,000. I don't know though. I'm just saying, if I had to guess, this is all alleged, I don't know. And so keep in mind, it's a women's shoe, so I don't know if there's going to be extended sizes or not. So also pay attention. If they don't do extended sizes, make sure y'all pay attention and make sure y'all get the right size and convert the women from sizes, because women's sizes usually go a size and a half up. So, say if you're a size 10, then it's 11.5 in women's. You know what I mean? If you're 8, then you're 9. You're 9.5. You know what I mean? And just how the game goes with that. Yeah, in women's. So, just fun fact. Jay Brooks says those olives are already over $1,000 on the resale market, and I'm definitely waiting. Oh yeah, I ain't paying no $1,000, not for those. And we had this question too. What do we think they're gonna sit at? I think we had this discussion in the Discord as well. After they drop, where do y'all see these sitting at on the resale market? I think they're gonna sit right at that $1,000 because it's gonna be. Even though it's 150,000 pairs, it's still a women exclusive. If they don't do extended size, if they do extended sizes, then that price will drop down to about 600 or 700. But if they don't do extended sizes, I see these being anywhere from $800 to $1,000 on the resale market easily. In my opinion, if they just keep it like women exclusives. No, yeah, if they keep it women exclusive, but if they do extended sizes up to like men's size, 15 or something like that, then the price will go down. Not by at least by a couple hundred, but they still gonna be expensive on the resale market, hence resale. But there are some shoes on the resale market that go below the market as well. So other than that, man, been on this joint for 1 hour and 31 minutes. Smash the like button, definitely goes a long way. Let's see. Jay Brooks says they'll sit just below the fragment price, but above the Phantom black ones as far as prices. I'm saying that too. So I think the Phantoms are sitting at a strong 600. I think, yeah, that could be a possibility too. They're not gonna sit at 1,000. I know they're gonna sit at anywhere from and I know I'm kind of contradicting myself, but I know they won't be nothing. I'll say this: they won't fall nothing less than 600. Like I said, if they do extended sizes, they'll be $700-800 tops, $600 worst case, best case scenario. And then if they keep just the women exclusive joints, I think they'll sit at that $800 price point. Just my thoughts on it. Aaron says there will be an extended sizes. I think 40,000 Travis website and 60K Nike rest back door. How could I forget the back door? It's a possibility. Well, yeah, for the got 'em earlies, and this is not taking a shot at no particular anybody, but just for the people who get the early reviews, like even if you don't have the hookup or get them back door, even if you go on GOAT or somewhere that's selling them early, somebody got them early from the back door. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying anybody in particular, but that's how the got them early videos is. For that you have to pay to play 9 times out of 10. So those guys will pay that money for the shoe to get the review out early, have it in hand, and usually if they get it out a couple weeks early, that's a timing drop too. And then they let that video drop, and then as the shoe gets closer, the views, they know it's a timing thing. So, I ain't mad at it. Get your grind on. Man of the Kick says default resale price $600 for Phantom. They nasty and underrated. The Phantoms are okay. I wasn't too impressed with them. I don't think it's a bad shoe. I just wasn't really impressed with them personally. But I see, yeah, I think they'll do slightly above the Phantoms. 700 price range. Like I said, if they do the number with that many numbers, I think they'll sit at right at about 700 to 800. That's just me. I think they'll be slightly above the Phantoms. But on that note, man, I'm going to close things out for tonight. Appreciate everybody for coming through, showing love. Y'all smash the like button. Sub up to the channel if you haven't done so already, man. Of course, I make content about sneakers. I see that Mr. 314, Mr. Palomino 314's in the building. What up, Mr. 314? We about to close things out for tonight. Thanks for coming through, homie. Smash the like button. Definitely, y'all check out the playback if y'all ain't had a chance to watch this whole joint. Y'all know I only do about 1 hour and 30 minutes. But smash the like button. Of course, my name is Jeremy Jones, and I make content about sneakers, occasional try-on hauls, and of course, y'all know we got Music Mondays, man. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Definitely an interesting topic for tonight. And y'all sign up for the Sold Out Discord if you haven't done so already. It is pinned up in the chat. A lot of helpful information on there as far as even just whenever we work together over there, and it's a true community, man. And definitely a lot of helpful information in there. Let's see. Manu the Kick says they're going to do good, but their closest thing to the reverse mocha. I mean, yeah, I know they're going to do well. I'm pretty sure, especially with the women's. You know, I can see that. Mr. 314 with a thumbs down. Mr. Outlet, I'm my ear too. All right, man. Yeah, I'm gonna close things out for the night. Smash the like button. And I will be back on Monday, man. And of course, y'all know I got more content on the way. My name is Jeremy Jones, and I am officially out this thing, man. Peace.
I just told my shawty better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through. I just told my shawty better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through. Would you wanna come through for me, girl? If you slide, tell me now what you do for me, girl. Been alone for some time, so it's new for me, girl. But I wanna take a chance on you truthfully, girl. Girl, I'll be a man, I know you need that. Where your old piece, you need to leave that. Got you on my lock, I need to keep that. Yeah, I mean that. Oh, you see that? I've been trying to hold back, gotta practice self-control. Every time I call you, girl, I always get that tone. I just need to see you, girl, I'm tired of that phone. Just say when you alone, on my way, I'm going gone, yeah. I just told my shawty better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through. I just told my shawty better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through.
It's been a long day, you should roll up. Now it's you every time my phone buzz. Need you around, I've been so alone. Shit be hard when I'm on the road. All this Louis luggage made me wet the grill. I don't really wanna touch it unless it's mine for real. I put all them diamonds on her like a chandelier. She gon' get a double murder if the looks could kill. Yeah, these feelings are familiar. Swear she look familiar. Swear to God I need her. Swear to God I need love. I've been in and out of lust. I've been in and out of touch. Only in and out of love. Yeah.
I just told my shawty better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through. I just told my shawty better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through.
Hi, I just wanted to let you know that I miss you and I love you. I feel like I haven't heard from you in a while. I know this music is hard, but I know you're also doing an incredible job. I'm just worried that it might take a lot out of you, and
I just told my shawty better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through. I just told my shawty better come through. We can turn it up if you want to. Looking at the sky through the sunroof. We can do whatever, girl, come through. Would you wanna come through for me, girl? If you slide, tell me now what you do for me, girl. Been alone for some time, so it's new for me, girl. But I wanna take a chance on you truthfully, girl. Girl, I'll be a man, I know you need that. Where your old piece, you need to leave that. Got you on my lock, I